Well, welcome to Ocarina of Time. Oh wait, wrong Let's Play.
Well, it's another one of those games that's on the Ocarina of Time level for me. Not quite for you, though, right?
No, not quite for me, but I mean, it's still associated with the same stage of my life when I first played this game.
Like, when was the last time you played this, do you think?
Uh, the last time I played this game was like on an Xbox Live re-release, but I did play it as a kid when I was like, I would go over to my neighbor's house and they owned the game. I never actually owned this game.
This was, like, one of my biggest games. Like, it's by far one of my favorite games, and it is my favorite platformer ever. I mean, just shit like this intro, the game has so much personality, and none of the characters even actually talk.
And there's like his fucking sister's this hideous bear with a wig on, like this fucking mumbo jumbo guy. He looks like all his skin got like third degree burns and like he's just wearing a mask and he's got some like weird fucking magical like prop quality or something.
Yeah, he's a
It's definitely a
shaman.
strange universe.
It's really, this could have easily been like a really good, like, television show for kids, like a cartoon.
Dude,
But
when I played this game as a kid, because I didn't own the game, and every time I would go over to my friend's house to play it. By the way, this is a really cool slot selection screen, I think. And I mean, how are you gonna pick the one where he's not playing the Game Boy?
well, we're not going to pick that one because that's the one already picked and had 12 jigsaws with. I
All
don't
right,
even.
that's fine. We'll be non-conformists here, but
I'm actually. I don't know. They all three have funny things that can happen. Like this one, you'll go flying out of the chair. This one, he'll like spin around into some secret passage, and this one, he gets thrown out of bed. Thrown out of bed. But I guess I'll just go with this one.
well, would you appreciate being thrown out? He just gave me a fucking wink. He didn't have a problem waking up at all.
Well, it's like they only sometimes do it. Dude, this shit's too fucking scary. I don't think we're gonna be able to let's play it.
Oh, I actually closed my laptop, so you're gonna lose me in a couple seconds. I got too scared. Sorry.
There's like weird pirate, like drawings in her door or something, in her wall. I mean. Oh, whoops.
What the fuck happened?
Nothing. The
Oh, I see.
the power of Grunty's spell just fucked up the video. Stopped Let's Plays in its tracks.
Dingpot Despot.
Apparently this dialogue is different in the Xbox Live version, which I don't like. I've never
That's
played the
probably-
Xbox Live version though.
Were you ever actually scared of Grundy's lair?
Yeah, I was.
I was as well. I thought like the dying part was like really dark. How like if you got a game over, it just like everything just fucking it's the end of everything.
I know, dude, if you just, like, quit the game, it had this elaborate cutscene of how you've ruined your sister's life and just completely failed. I mean,
Right.
but the storyline to this game is, like, weird and stupid. A witch finds out from her fucking cauldron that there's a girl more beautiful than her, which is, like, the only other girl in this entire universe. So
Right.
she must steal her
And she's
beauty.
hideous. Like
I don't know, she's pretty hot, dude.
she's got some charisma. I'll admit to that.
Look, dude, I love how fucking, like, innocent these characters are.
Right.
There's nothing threatening about these characters. She's
They're
got
just
a
part
really
of
weird
this
voice.
perfect little like cartoon community.
This is back when games for kids were actually, like, really good. Because it was, like, only kids playing games at this point.
Yeah, I think they should design more universes for kids rather than like just iterations and shit like that.
This opening cutscene scared me when I was a kid, like the very beginning when it shows her lair and it's all foreboding. I was like, what kind of game is this? Because
I always thought it would have been cool if if her like her fucking throne like castle that's shaped as her face was actually like came to life, and like you had to fight.
That would be weird. I do like how everything is alive in this game. Even her broomstick is alive.
Yeah, just everything. It's like, you know, the Microsoft paperclip. It's like any small object just has eyes and is gonna like have some stupid voice.
That picture back there is actually like a screenshot of a cut level that they later put in Donkey Kong 64. What?
Go ahead.
I thought it would have been better in this game because Donkey Kong 64 had too much backtracking and shit.
What a non-flattering like introduction to the character. It's so much different than like the super serious intro that Ocarina of Time had.
Yeah, that just made Banjo an idiot. Like, he's just sleeping and completely incompetent. Oh,
And,
he
like,
doesn't have, like, any moves.
The jiggies and the like notes and like honeycomb, it's all like arbitrary like symbols thrown together to make this just weird universe.
I like when games had guides. Remember when, like, every game had a guide? Like, you know, a character like this guy, you know, who he gives you all your moves and everything.
I do remember he wasn't helpful in the way, like, whenever I was stuck, he just had nothing to say except for, like, some new move I just learned.
Right, he wasn't, like, good at, like, telling you how to beat the levels, but the levels were, they didn't require much thought, really. They weren't hard levels.
I would spend a lot of time in older levels just, like, trying to do shit that I just didn't have something I needed, thinking, like, if I used the trot, I could get past it or something.
Honestly, the trot basically is how you get past, like, everything. But, oh yeah, I didn't learn all the moves right at the beginning like you can do, just because there's some, like, funny stuff to show off in this overworld where he teaches you the moves. And this is a pretty cool overworld that I like quite a bit. I always stand on top of the hills before pressing B on them, because it makes Banjo go flying off like that, and I always thought that was funny, and I just do it out of habit.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that you gotta do in cozy games. Like, especially, it's like you always want to be in the weirdest position when you have control over a cutscene.
I know, like running under the keys in Mario 64, and like there's also some in Ocarina of Time, but I can't remember.
It wouldn't be that hard to impress me with a new 3D platformer. Just have the first level be this expansive green nature wildscape, whatever.
I'm starting to think maybe I should have just fucking learned all the moves. I don't like going through the dialogue, but oh yeah, that was just all I had to do was jump. It wouldn't even let you move. Okay, I know how to play this game like the back of my hand, but
Kids growing up now don't know the whole, like, the first level is green, like, archetype.
and then, you know what was weird is how the platformers had fucking Egyptian levels. What was I supposed to do?
Egyptian levels?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they did. Mario 64 has it. Also, Mario games in the fucking, like, the Super Nintendo had them, and this game has one.
But, like, that's the thing, like, games now, they pick a theme, and really, like, every level can be different with a good game.
Dude, games could have so much variety, and they just don't now. I mean, games used to have so much personality. I mean, just look around this overworld here. There's so much going on, and as a little kid, seeing a world like this, you know, you wanted to go explore this green world with all this running water and these hills and these trees, and then, you know, of course, you got that up there.
Yeah, especially if, like, you're a kid in a suburban environment and, like,
yeah,
you don't go out too often, or, like, you don't get a chance to really use your imagination. Like, being in an immersive world like this just allows you to explore so much. It just fills you with wonder. That's the kind of, like, games you should introduce a kid to.
I'm just glad this stuff came out when I was a kid. I can't imagine being, like, 20-something and Banjo-Kazooie is like a new game. But that, honestly, I still feel like that would have been really cool. But
yeah, it probably would have been pretty exciting. We probably would have been, like, talking about it or whatever.
Dude, this game is just like a huge game to me. Ah, come on.
For me, this game became huge after Let's Plays. Like, I never knew the whole scope of the game until I started watching Let's Plays of it.
Also, like, how the music would change when you were underwater, that was really fucking innovative and interesting to me as a kid. No game had ever done that before. And
Yeah.
it added so much more atmosphere to it. It really made you feel like you had gone underwater, and that was really cool. And that's one of the coolest things about this game that's pretty unique to Banjo-Kazooie. I can't think of many other games that have done that.
I actually made a game where every time you went underwater, like, it would spray you, and I think that's a little bit more innovative, but, you know, they did their best here.
Even this water, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks shitty, like, by our, like, current standards, but, I mean, the water, it looks good. And I liked how this whole area was submerged with water and a waterfall, and then there was this bridge I was, like, walking over. I loved shit like this as a kid. Games have the potential to be, like, incredible now, and they're really just not incredible.
Yeah, people just utilize, like, a really shitty system and, like, bland level design and just make the graphics hyper-realistic, and then that's a good game by today's standards. Variety and, like, level design are just at some of the worst quality ever.
Another big thing is personality. Give games personality.
Yeah, give games a style that's, like, unique, and not just, like, an art style. Give them a universe style that's unique. Well, you mastered that tree.
I know. I thought there was a honeycomb piece up there. That's another reason to do this tutorial area, is you get all the honeycomb pieces, you get an extra piece of your life. But I just really want to stress, like, how big of a game this was to me. I was so into this game as a kid. I just spent hours playing it. I thought it was just an incredible game, and I still do even now. I still think the game is just so fucking fun and platforming at its best. And, like, going into this game's personality, this game's universe, it's always a lot of fun when you start a new game to know, like, I'm going to be going through all this, this whole world again. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just no game can really do that now. I'm saying no game really does that anymore.
It is sort of like an escape to innocence to go back and play this game, because it's just so inoffensive with the way it presents itself. Like, you know, a lot of older games are like that, where it's like they're not trying to, like, attach to some culture or anything. They're just like, they just create this isolated universe with all these weird things in it. It's cool. It's cool for a game to present itself like that. Oh my god, I changed my mind. I've never seen something more offensive in my life.
That move is completely taken out of Banjo-Tooie. In fact, you barely ever use this move. You pretty much always... Oh, I don't have it yet, but... This is like your only way of attacking besides this.
Yeah, that's the one I usually do, is your little fucking shoulder charge with the bird beak.
I normally do the one where you jump and it's the rat-a-tat-rat or whatever, but I don't have it yet. I don't think you get it till the first level. Like, I think it's weird that you have to fight a bunch of anthropomorphic vegetables. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, I don't know. It is strange. Like, they could have made cooler enemies, but I mean, the game wasn't really trying to be cool, so
The first time I ever played this game, I think it was at a Best Buy or something, but it was at one of those, like, try before you buy kiosk things, and I was in the overworld, and I was just running around in the overworld, and I couldn't figure out what to do. And I remember, I thought Banjo was a dog in the advertisements for the game, because he does kind of look like one.
yeah, I can see it in a way.
Especially if you only saw him, like, one time. Okay, this is taking too long.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
Okay, there we go.
Wait, didn't you just do the rat-a-tat-tat?
Yeah, I don't know then. I guess I learned it. Yeah, that's the one I normally do, is the rat-a-tat-tat. Oh, I'm missing one.
Dude, that's another thing. It's like, the way they use the bird to, like, alter his moves, it's, like, really creative.
Yeah, that's something we haven't even talked about, you know, just so used to it, is how fucking weird it is that you're a bird with a bear in a backpack, and you, like...
a bird with a bear in a backpack?
Oh, other way around. A bear with the bird... No, yeah, I don't know. What the fuck?
A bear with a bird in a backpack.
Yeah, you're a bear with a bird in a backpack. That's my new fucking funk metal band.
A bear with a bird in the back of his backpack.
I cannot get on this. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're missing one honeycomb piece, folks. What do we do?
We give up.
Where is that fucking honeycomb piece, though? Oh, I think it's at the top of one of these trees, isn't it? I'm not leaving without
I do want to
it.
say though, looks like we've made contact with the honeycomb.
It wasn't the right honeycomb.
Oh.
That was just a way to refill my energy. Oh, where is it? Okay, it's gonna be around here somewhere.
But it was the unique way in which I experienced this game, where I would go over to my friend's house periodically, and like I was actually able to. Is he gonna do his little celebration now?
Well, he said Gahut.
Okay. Well, the way I experienced the game, I actually was able to like. Every time I went to this game, it was different, and the game's already weird. Like so. When there were these different characters in a different area, every time I went to see my friend play the game, or his brother who was like super good at it, and like super good at Ocarina of Time as well, I would just like, it would just made this game seem so whimsical and magical, even more so than it probably is. But just as a kid, like video games just seemed so cool to me, just because like, even the games my friends had just seemed so cool.
Yeah, this was like one of the big games that got me really into video games. It like cemented my addiction to them. And I always liked this, how the grass starts getting like weird and shitty looking, and like the music gets more ominous as you get to the top of this here. The music sets the mood so well in this game. This game's music has got definitely some of my favorite video game music ever.
Is that supposed to be grass or just like marbled green and blue rock? That's what I thought it was.
I think it's supposed to be like weird grass because it makes like a squishy sound when you walk on it. Are you ready?
That's some weird grass then.
Well, Nintendo 64 rendering.
I would have done better.
I don't think I can do it.
Are you gonna make a Seinfeld joke?
Hey George, what's the deal with Banjo-Kazooie? Alright, let's go.
I've got a sinus infection. Sorry, George.
And then it has this whole Saturday morning cartoon-like cutscene. That's one scared little girl.
The perfect description for it.
There's
From the
Quango.
perfect co-host.
You're the co-host, and you're not perfect.
See, a game now wouldn't have said fat. It would have been like, you pleasantly sized woman.
You plus-sized woman.
Yeah,
So-
you fun-sized woman.
No, it just wouldn't even, like, the characters wouldn't even recognize that they're fat. I mean, I really like how everyone calls her fat, like, you fat hag and all that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
The word ass is in Banjo-Tooie.
Oh man, times have changed.
I always liked this picture, although it's kind of got like a clipping problem because of the emulator where it's like 4 squares put together. But I don't know, I just thought that really set the mood for this area to walk in, and then there's fucking just a picture of herself right there. And
Right, it's such an egotistical fucking villain, like, just so vain that she's got a fucking picture of herself in a, like, castle of her face.
it made me think I could jump into it like in Mario 64.
Exactly, yeah. The first thing I did was like, oh, I gotta jump into these things. It's like, and then I was like, solve a puzzle piece. No, thank you. I have to jump into it.
I always like getting the big golden jiggies. Now we get the
Big
celebration.
golden jiggies.
She swallowed the whole thing whole. Alright. Oh, there's some scary decorations on the wall. There is a
Those are
lot
just-
to be seen.
It's like a weird pumpkin design.
Yeah. I also like this too right here. There was like an evil face when you were entering an area with a level.
We've already talked about the sound design as far as like all the, you know, weird honks and like...
The
you
hard
know,
honks.
the hard honks and all the soft noises, but like the music in general is actually like really well composed.
Yeah, it's got pretty much the best video game... One of the best video game music composers out there.
And you're right about how it changes. Like, it changes, like, sometimes, like, room to room, even.
Yeah. You can actually see all the individual squares that make up the jiggy pieces.
I mean, look at how many, if you go back and watch the last 20 seconds, like 4 different soundtracks played just then.
I know, and there's sounds for everything getting picked up, but I really like how you had the different entrances to the world. I mean, this is really cool. Like, I like how you have to put the jiggy pieces in for it to open up those doors. I liked going into different worlds so much as a kid.